Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly series of It Takes a Village. I'm so excited to be back. I'm Dion Davidson. Thank you for sharing our weekly videos, and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button right now. This week, I'm joined by the beautiful Lupus Warrior. You see her rocking on her purple? Look at that necklace she got on, y'all. Check it out. I'm joined by Karen. So Karen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I can't wait for you to share your story about how lupus has tried you.
Yeah.
Let's say how it tried you.
Yeah.
So tell us when you were diagnosed and what type of lupus you were diagnosed with.
Okay. Well, I was diagnosed in 2015, and I was diagnosed with having the systematic lupus erythematosus. I can't even say it.
Girl, I just say SLE. I don't
Yeah,
go, look.
it's SLE.
SLE, I shorten everything up.
Yeah. That's the top of the line kind of lupus. You seem to have like all kinds of things that's going on. And I noticed that I've been having a lot of things going on. I don't want to go on, but just some of the things that I had wanted to touch before Dion said something. But it was just that what I noticed about this kind of lupus is that it takes a toll on everything. It's not just one specific area. It's all areas. I never imagined that I would be in this stage, in this day of life, thinking that I would have some kind of illness that will set me back. It set me back. I mean.
Well, with that said, tell us what types of setback you had. What were you doing before you were diagnosed, and what type of symptoms you had that was like red flag? Ooh, something is terribly wrong. Like, what type of job you were possibly doing, or, what type of lifestyle you live that you're no longer able to do, and, things like that.
Okay. Well, the lifestyle I had was awesome because I was active. I mean, I used to play handball, racquetball.
What? You found out I found a handball partner. She gonna teach me.
I used to play double dutch. I used to teach double dutch and yeah. Very active in high school. I did tennis. I was in the track team. I did all kinds of things, gymnastics.
Wow. Very
active. I walked, and that was one of the things I enjoyed doing. But because since I was diagnosed, things started slowing down for me. My speech starts slowing down. It's like now and then I can't speak certain words, or I can't think certain words. It seems like I have something going on, like a memory fog, where I can't remember stuff generally. I could remember to put my keys up somewhere, and then when I get ready to go for them, I can't find my keys, or I have trouble trying to remember exactly where I went if I'm driving, and I don't have that kind of. So it's like a mindset thing for me where if I'm writing and I'm trying to remember certain words, I can't remember the words. I know it, but I can't remember what they are. So it takes a toll on memory. When I was working, I think it was because again I was diagnosed 2015, but when I was working, and I used to do patient care kind of work. I worked in the department that we did check patients in.
Okay.
We did the procedures. There was a lot of walking. There was a lot of stuff going on. You was never in one spot at the same time. So I kind of noticed that there was always something going on with my ankle, or if it was something that's going on with my hip or my knee or something. And it's something I would get pain in it. Sometimes the pain would last for a long time. Sometimes it'll just for maybe a couple of hours or something, and then the pain might subside, but then it will start right back up again. And it might not be the right leg, but later on it'll be the left leg or something. And it kind of made work real tedious because it was like I would, be trying to do something and people would stop me and ask me, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I'm in pain. Did you take something for it?
That's a common question because everybody assumed that Tylenol or Advil will help.
It's supposed to help.
It doesn't.
And I could pop a pill, but you're talking about being on opioids. So now I'm trying to avoid that and then try to do things the more holistic kind of way. So, but it was a circumstance where I would be hurting, and nobody seems to understand how I was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I would be hurting, like I would have chest pain, and frequently I will always have to go to the ER. Stop what I'm doing, go to the ER. Money's being, drawing out my pocket because I got this this visit, and so.
Mm-hmm. When you went to the ER each time, because I had the same experience, did they know what to do each time, or did they just run some tests and send you back on your way?
They did. They just ran some tests. They didn't know exactly what to look at. I may say I may have chest pain, and then they'll just look solely on the heart to see if there's any kind of like abnormalities or something. So now, every now and then I may have, what is that, some kind of arrhythmia or some kind of irregular heart rhythm or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have palpitations with that. And so it makes it difficult to diagnose. And then this what makes it even worse. I will have like arm pain and jaw pain or neck pain. So you never know associating with these things.
So it kind of flows all together.
Yeah. It could be together. It could be by itself. You never know. So it's like I'm always going to the ER.
Wow.
So.
And I think that's probably part of the struggle that I've been seeing and talking to other people with lupus is when we're experiencing pain of any kind, because we don't look sick.
Yeah.
It's so hard to pinpoint, and therefore they just dismiss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and then when they do try to figure out what's going on, it takes so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because they like, okay, well, we're looking at one area when it's like 3-4 things that's connected.
Right.
And you're saying, okay, my jaw hurts, but then I have this tingling in my arm as well, and then my chest hurts too. So, you got to be trained to figure out all of that. And sometimes going to the ER, because they see so many people, they don't really know what to do. So I'm not talking bad about people that work in the ER. I want nobody to think that, because I have a few friends who are doctors in the ER. But let's switch gears a little bit. So what are some things that lupus has taught you? Because we've all felt like, we've all had those why me moments and days and months. But at the end of it, had those epiphanies and like came to the realization that maybe this happened for a reason, and it was sent to teach me something. So what were some things that you felt like this came to teach me?
Wow. I think in most prospectively, it taught me a valuable way of trying to pinpoint who my body, not who I am, but my body, is to figure out for myself. Because, and I'm not just saying that so that I could just doctor myself. I still go to the doctor and things, but to maybe give them a hand, because they don't know everything. I can tell them something and it'll go okay out. They'll look at it and they'll try to, figure it out, but then they don't. I had issues with my digestive system.
Okay.
So what I was reading, and that this is one of the things it taught me, is to do more reading and research on the way I feel, and then to learn the immune system. So what I know about the immune system is that most of it, the main parts stimulate from your stomach. It's in your gut. So in some instances, I might have some kind of something going on with my stomach. I would have what they call is angry gut, leaky gut, where there's a lot of grumbling, there's a lot of bloatedness, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. And it's usually foods that are associated with that. Mm-hmm. So what I was trying to get to understand is that, okay, are these foods or these things that's really causing my system to go berserk, or is it just me? So I tried in some ways of learning how to eat different kinds of foods because of the gut situation. It helps in some ways. It's like if you have to have this kind of diet all the time, and then if you can't have that kind of diet all the time, you got to eat what you got to eat in order to survive.
Which is probably some of the things that causes flares for most of us. And I know that's where I am now, because when I don't eat a plant-based diet, my gut is like, child, what are you doing? Like, it's screaming at me. And then that's what causes inflammation in the joints, and you get all the swelling and the pain. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because a lot of times we don't know that, and it's because nobody's telling us that, and the doctors are just prescribing medicine. So if that's what it taught you, I'm so glad it taught you that, because you're able to share that with somebody else. And the most important thing that we all need to do is to read. So once you get a diagnosis, don't just accept it. Read about it. And once you read about it, now you're able to become empowered by what you've read. So I'm so proud of you for taking the initiative to say, look, I'm gonna read some more about this, because clearly something else is triggering that.
That's right.
And something else is triggering that. I need to start from the root. So that takes a lot of courage to do that. I'm so glad that you're doing that, so that you can, start from the beginning. And we all go back sometimes to the old ways for one reason or another. But in doing so, now that you're sharing that with somebody else, they can say, wait, I have gut issues. Let me go back and check it. So,
I wanted to also bring out something else that I do have Dr. Mullen to thank for that with the gut information, because he's a nutritionist. So thank you, Dr. Mullen. What I did also was kind of like try to look out at not just the gut but other areas, because I had really had a bad time with my hair. I've lost a lot. I have hair loss. So I had a real bad time, and I was getting real tired. The doctor was telling me it was just alopecia, and it wasn't just alopecia. It was also the lupus that was causing some of the patchiness or the bald spots.
I had that too. What did they recommend for you to do, or what did you find that helped for you? Because I use a lot of different products to help mine.
Now, I went to two different types of not two different types, but two different dermatologists. Okay. And one wanted to do a biopsy. They wanted to see what was causing the hair to fall out, because it was a different area. That I would have hair that would come out from the sides and around. But then the alopecia, this is the center part that was missing hair. But then I was noticing that some hair was being coming out from the back too. Okay. So what happened was that when I saw the second dermatologist, they offered to do some shots, steroid shots.
In your hair?
Yeah, in my scalp. Wow. And that's not an easy thing.
That's why I said wow.
That hurts. That's really, it's tough to do that. So, and you're talking about taking and they'll work in sections. So it's not one shot, it's shots in seconds. So that's
you said plural. Like
yes.
It's S on sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah, that hurts. That really does. But it's supposed to help with to rejuvenate or to stimulate the growth. Now, if it's lupus, it will grow back. But if it's alopecia, it may and it may not, because of the fact that the hair and stuff. But they did all areas. They did the areas that was falling in the center, and they did the sides. So some of the sides may be trying to grow back a little bit.
Okay. So have you noticed the difference? Like, did you do before and after pictures to see?
I did. I have on my film the hair that was lost.
Okay.
And I don't have a camera with me,
Oh.
the phone, but I could, but I did take this
So
before.
what was the result? Like, did you see a difference now?
I did.
Okay, so it has worked.
It
So
has.
I just wanted to make sure that, if people want to do that option, that, they can be encouraged that the shots do work.
Yeah.
Because I think when we think about steroid shots, we were talking about how I need to get the steroid injection for my hip, and I'm like terrified. And then you talking about steroid shots in your head. You ain't tell me that part before we got on camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get that shot in my head because she says shots. I still can't get over the S on it.
Hurting experience.
God bless you, child, honey. Yes. Is there anything else you want to share with people about your journey so far, and anything else that you feel like you've overcome thus far?
I can't say if I really overcome things. Things are still a struggle.
Okay.
Things just doesn't really come easy. It depends now how I feel. Sometimes my mood is different. The way I used to live was, like, this is so different, so difficult. I just don't imagine how 10 years from now is going to be for me. I mean, it's sort of like it's a struggle, but, I can do still some things. And the struggle part is like, again, me mentally trying to grasp this.
And that's the hardest part.
And I have never been able to accept this. I just know that at some point I got to deal with it. It's like having I also went through the middle age stages, so you experience your menopausal things, and it's like I can't seem to get over that. It hinders me a lot.
The whole lupus thing, it's a shock within itself. And I was diagnosed in 2013. I didn't get over that part till like 2016. So it took me a while. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, yes, I got this. No. Kevin Hart, no.
The body just falls apart.
You go through that, and that mental piece. Like, I even went to therapy to understand it because everybody was looking to me for answers.
Right.
And I'm like, what y'all asking me? I don't know nothing about this. I'm trying to learn as I go along. Like, my body is screaming at me, so I get what you're saying. And even while I was going through therapy, trying to get understanding of what was happening to me, I was still falling apart.
Yeah.
So it's going to take time. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, girl, it's easy. No. The acceptance piece, because the way I look at it now, and that's what helped me to accept it, it was almost like my old self died.
Exactly.
I had to grieve.
You have to grieve.
My old self, beyond... Prior to 2013, she died.
Yes.
And a new me
That's how
was
I look at it.
born.
Yeah.
And you have to create a new normal. So me trying to do everything I was doing before only created frustration for me. So maybe that can help you and help somebody else. Like, I'm not saying never, but right now, you might not be able to do everything that you used to do before. But who knows, 5-10 years down the line, you will probably be able to do that again. But right now, baby steps to get to that part again. Like, I think of it like the middle passage.
Oh.
To get to the end result that you want, the middle passage is probably going to be a little rough to get there. So, and that goes for everybody else. And who would have thought me meeting Karen on Facebook, her wanting to buy some jewelry from me, would turn into a YouTube episode.
Yeah.
And she's rocking that Beadly speaking necklace that I made. I was like, she showed up with a necklace on. Oh, it's sucky now.
I said I was homemade.
Not realizing sometimes when we meet people, our paths cross for different reasons than what we think they should cross for. So in everything that we do, our expectations might be a little bit different.
Yes.
Whatever lupus came to teach you, let it teach you. I didn't know what it came to teach me, but it helped me find my voice.
Yes.
if nothing else, who would have thought I'd be on camera? I was terrified when I did my first episode. I was sweating so bad. Go back and look at my first episode, y'all. I look so calm, but I was sweating. My mouth was so dry. My hands were shaking. I was trying to keep calm, but now I'm sitting next to warriors telling their story and empowering people, because I don't want people to be afraid and feel like they're alone.
Right.
You're not alone.
Right.
And as you watch this video, send it to somebody else. Text it to them like, look, I know you're going through something, but look, I want you to see that you're not by yourself. Look at Karen, look at Dion. They out here doing big things. Get up, shower, put some clothes on. You might not have nowhere to go.
Yes.
But feel refreshed.
Yes, right.
Do something with yourself. And as you go about and you're taking care of somebody else, I say this all the time, take care of you.
Warriors, also do your scripture readings, because that's one of the things that helped me get through this. So do your scripture readings.
I do that now in the morning. I have the app and it like reminds me. If I forget, I was like, all right, God, dang.
Yeah.
So, you know, have some type of ritual that can help you, you know, uplift you. And I have people who text me every day. I ain't asked them to, they just started, or I guess they figure out you need it. So they text me every day with a quote, and that's the thing, God will send you the right people at the right time.
There you go. Yeah.
You don't even know what you need sometimes, but whoever your God that you believe in will send you what you need. And in that time of need, you will discover that you're not by yourself.
Yep.
So we're going to wrap this up. I just want to thank you again so much for coming. I'm so glad to be back on, and I thank you all so much for being so supportive, being so loving.
Yes.
If you have been benefited by our episodes, tell us. Leave a message below, and make sure you subscribe. I know I said it before, but I see that y'all watching, but y'all ain't subscribing. Subscribe.
Yes.
And like our videos as well, so that we'll be bumped up to the top of the YouTube videos. Thank you so much. Love on yourself and love on each other, so that this world could be a better place. Love you.
Bye-bye.